So we got the early leaks for chapter 86 of Ragnarok, and we are starting on round 10. Okita Tsuji versus Susanoo no Mikoto. As always, if you enjoy Ragnarok content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you never miss an upload and keep up to date with all the Ragnarok news. We start things off actually finding out why Susanoo requested this arena. So it was Susanoo who requested the arena, as some of you guys predicted, which is actually really cool. We find out that the reason he requested this is because an incident took place here where 4 members of the Shinsengumi destroyed several squads all by themselves. Susanoo sought to recreate the scenario as faithful as possible since he's a fan. It seems he's more than just a fan of Okita, he's a fan of the entire Shinsengumi as a whole. But Okita is his favorite because he mastered the art of the sword, which Susanoo is credited with basically being the god of. He sees Okita as the culmination of his art form. He actually views Okita as the best swordsman in history. So this is interesting. We talked about this in some of my videos last month, where are they setting up Okita to surpass Sasuke? At least as far as Susanoo's opinion, Okita is a superior swordsman. That's pretty cool. I'm interested to get your guys' thoughts on that. So we see a couple cool shots of Susanoo and Okita. We actually find out that when Okita hears that Susanoo is a fan of his, he actually loses motivation to fight him because, you know, he can't look at him like one of those bad god type of guys like he did with Loki. This guy's just a fan of his. But Susanoo basically says, no, this is exactly what I want. I want to see the smiling face of the demon child in action. I want your best. So he motivates Okita to fight, and we're in business. We see this awesome panel of Susanoo crossing the bridge over the landscape of Edo, Japan. It looks amazing. We also get a glimpse into Susanoo's past. This actually looks like one of the ancient murals we saw in the Raiden Shiva fight, where it was kind of like artwork. I'm not really sure if that's what's supposed to be being portrayed here, but it looks like the origin of his sword, as he is shown to obtain the legendary tail sword of Yamata no Orochi. And here's a couple pictures of that. Sword looks pretty cool. We don't really see this sword specifically in the fight just yet. He still has whatever weapon he's going to be using wrapped up, but it looks like this is going to be the sword he uses. Some people were speculating he has 2, maybe he has another one wrapped up in there as well. But an interesting note about Susanoo requesting this arena, further notes on that, he has like OCD about this. He made sure that it was as close to accurate as possible. He was looking at the smallest of details, checking the cuts on marks of wood. He knows the specific places where battles took place, specific places where people were cut down, and he wants the arena to have the same exact damage it had that day. He describes that fight that he witnessed as the best fight there was. So he is a true fan. He is a true fanboy, bro. Glazing to the highest of levels, but it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this fight, dude. Now, one other very important nugget that's kind of aligned with all this is that this means Susanoo has studied all of Okita's techniques, meaning he's going into this battle with prep time essentially. It's like Jack the Ripper almost, but legitimately he knows all the techniques. He knows what's coming. So this is going to be an insane degree of difficulty for Okita to win this fight. Not just because he knows all of his moves, but because Susanoo is going to be insanely powerful of his own right. Now, one thing I'll say about this arena, every time I look at it, all I see is the Soul Society and Bleach. Like, what I'm thinking of is Ikaku, like, running through the streets with this small wall. This might just be how Edo Japan looked, but that's all I'm seeing right now is like a Bleach landscape. But we get to see the size discrepancy between Susanoo and Okita, and it is huge. Susanoo is dwarfing Okita. Okita is super small. I touched on this in my Susanoo backstory and lore video that may come out before this, may come out after this, not sure, but make sure to check that out, where we actually find out that his katana is tailor-made for him, the one he fought with in the Shinsengumi prequel. It seems that that's going to be the same sword. Obviously we don't really get to see if he turned that into his one. I'm assuming he is gonna, but basically it's super lightweight to compensate for his very small body. Speaking of the Shinsengumi, we get a really cool shot of all the Shinsengumi, or the major members at least, watching Okita, cheering him on. So we were speculating about what the fuck Kondo was gonna do. He doesn't look to be part of the fight, which is kind of disappointing for me. I kind of was interested to see what direction we were gonna go in. Like, Kondo was acting as if he was gonna fight. So it would have been really unique, but it looks like he's gonna stay in the crowd at least for now, and he's got all his goons with him. They all got really cool weapons. They look like a fearsome ass crew, man. And this is probably because the detail with these guys is probably because they have that spin-off series, which I said I have a video talking about that. These guys look really, really cool. So hopefully this series does get translated to English at some point, because I love to read it. But they're out there supporting, and I can definitely say Okita looks to have the coolest supporting cast of any of the humans we've seen so far. With that being said, guys, make sure to subscribe here for more Record of Ragnarok content like this. I always cover the entire chapter with a full breakdown every single month, so make sure you got the notification bell on for that. As soon as we get the chapter with the full translations, all that, the video will be up soon after. Also, as I mentioned, check out my video talking about the lore behind Susanoo if you want a little spoiler and teaser as to what's to come with his backstory, how he fights, some of the techniques you can expect to see in this fight, as well as what his strengths are when it comes to swordsmanship. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.